hearing board does not have goals and levels of accomplishments. We have about 20 hearings a year, and our biggest, I guess, accomplishment is trying to develop a systemized and consistent enforcement of the zoning ordinances adopted by Mount Lebanon, make it fair for all the residents. The gain I've gotten from it is, of course, a vast knowledge of the actual ordinance in itself and enforcement. It's helped me in other communities. A lot of people I know, great friendships on the board, and I think we've developed a very good level of professionalism to the board that's effective for the entire community.
Well, what we've accomplished, we were given the task of making a recommendation for a study for rehab and some improvements with the north and south garage. That has been done, and the initial improvements have been done as of November of 2013. The upper deck of the south garage and the north garage have both been completed and operating nicely. In 2014, I know in the budget there's approximately $4 million bond issue which would be needed to cover the additional capital cost over the next few years. Hopefully the commissioners will pass that, and much needed improvements will take place over the garage to guarantee many years of good, useful life. Well, actually working at Mount Lebanon as finance director many years and the parking authority, I kind of had the background that was needed, I believe, to help this board out and my expertise. I kind of enjoy getting the opinions of other people and to see through their eyes what they see that I've seen for many years, and kind of put that together and come up with some good suggestions.
Two things, one of which is board related, that I think has really been great for the village, is we've brought on about 6 new board members, and I think that's important for any board to bring on new blood and people that look at things with new eyes. So I really think that's going to help us this year with our development and with community outreach. And we've also started what we call an associate member program for more active seniors who are able to drive and help our full members engage in more social activities, which is what our goal really is. Well, our biggest challenge is now, as it has remained, community awareness of what it is that we do and who it is that we serve. I find there's a lot of misconceptions. When I say I'm on the board of Mount Lebanon Village, people still say, and where is that? And we're not a brick and mortar place. We're more of a community without walls. Mount Lebanon's known for its schools, which is great for the kids and great for the moms, but as we get older, I think it's important that it stay a good community for our older citizens also.
Our board's big project in 2013 was going out and talking to representatives and program directors from a number of nonprofit groups in the area. These are groups that provide counseling and help either free of cost or at low cost for families with members affected by health issues, mental health issues, drug abuse, unemployment. We talked to groups such as Hospice, St. Clair Hospital, South Hills, Interfaith Ministries, a bunch of groups. And we were able to collate all this information, and the goal was to find out how many groups offer these types of services, but what we discovered on top of that is that there's a big need for this kind of help in Mount Lebanon. And that's been the large focus over the last year. We have this information. The immediate goal is to figure out how to get it in the hands of the public and the people that need it. So right now we're brainstorming and starting to work on plans on the best way to take this huge amount of data we have and get it in the hands of the residents who really need it and whose families really need it. Hopefully I bring to the board fresh eyes, being is that I'm a new member. I came on board last year. This will be my first full year upcoming, so fresh eyes.
Well, our biggest accomplishment actually is more than just this last year. For outreach, we're celebrating our 40th anniversary. So for us, what we consider our biggest accomplishment is the fact that we're still here 40 years from when we first started. Able to provide for the youth of Mount Lebanon counseling services and other services helping them to improve their lives. I think our biggest challenges for outreach are to try to find a stable source of funding so that we're able to continue to provide these services for Mount Lebanon and the youth of the South Hills communities. We really appreciate the funding we get from Mount Lebanon Commission, but we're trying to find outside sources in order to be able to continue these services. I think I bring to the board a lot of organizational skills. I'm a CPA, professionally. So that helps at the board level. The opportunities from the board are a lot of volunteer opportunities to meet a lot of good people in the community and just help out, know that we're doing a lot of good services.
We've been working diligently to get a large portion of Mount Lebanon on the National Register as a National Historic District. And that's included working with both the consultant as well as work that we've been doing sort of on the ground here, surveying, evaluating properties. And there's been a lot of progress, and we expect this year that we'll actually have the National Register District completed. Well, what we anticipate, one of the most important things is, of course, education of the community about what our National District means really for people and the advantages. And so we've been having a lot of discussion about how to communicate that to the people, and we've learned a lot about that in the process ourselves. We want people to understand that this is really a sort of an honorary type designation that doesn't have any impact or control on the properties themselves. It just enables us to show that we really have a special place that we live here in Mount Lebanon. I'm able to contribute. My profession is as an architect, and more specifically, I do a lot of work in historic preservation. So I am a good resource to the group. There's a lot of different talents within the group, but can help give direction in a more technical standpoint. One of the reasons I enjoyed is really myself learning about my own community. Because when I joined the group, I knew a little bit about the Historic Board, Historic Preservation Board, but in the 3 years that I've served, I've gained a great amount of knowledge that's really given me a lot more appreciation for this community.
You have upgraded the library with new self-checkout machines. New carpet has been installed. There's new furniture. The entire collection has been reorganized, and so that the library is easier to use. And we've also tagged all of the items with a special radio frequency identification tag. We want to continue to attract more patrons to the library, although more than 530,000 patrons visited the library last year. And we want to continue to attract more people to our fundraising events, such as Brews for a Chilly Night, which is held every year at the start of the year, usually late January, early February. And to the garden tour. I guess I contribute my thoughts as a user because I'm someone who visits the library regularly, but one of the great things about serving on the board is that the people I work with are very community focused, and they're exceedingly bright. They have great senses of humor, and they've taught me how to look at problems in different ways and how to problem solve. So it's been a very valuable experience for me.
I think we've made a lot of strides. We have a climate action plan that's been put in place, and so we have a lot of different priorities that a lot of the board members are working on. We've actually taken the comprehensive plan, and we've lined up some of the main parts of our climate action plan directly to the comprehensive plan. And there are 5 main areas that we will be working on this year. Waste reduction, as I mentioned before, transportation is one, stormwater reduction, energy and water conservation, and also working with the parks, especially with the turf. Recycling is my passion. I'm not a fan of wasting, and obviously if you put something in the landfill, it's going to be sitting there forever. And so to me, it's highly inefficient, which is why I focused on recycling more, doing composting, things like that. I just really like the support that we get from the broader community for some of the things that we're doing, not for ourselves, but really what we feel is good for the residents of our town.
Well, we have a couple of things that we're very pleased with. First, we established plein air, both the first year and the second year. That was a new event for Mount Lebanon. It was great reception. The first year was successful, and the second year was even more successful. And we're very enthused that that's going to continue to grow and be a premier event for Mount Lebanon. As an adjunct to that, we've established the Mount Lebanon Arts Initiative, where we will be giving grants each year. The first grants are currently soliciting applications now. And for the first year, it's only going to be $3,000, but we hope that will grow in a year in and year out basis. And that's for all the arts, not just visual arts, but dance, music, crafts, whatever you can do, the applicants can do to make a contribution. And there were then the point of that is certainly to share that with the community. And the other thing we're very proud of is that we established this past year an accessibility initiative, which we contributed approximately $11,000 of our funds from one of our events to putting in accessible playground equipment down at Mount Lebanon Park. And we hope that program will continue, and we hope to make future contributions to the accessibility initiative as well. We're constantly looking at new events, new programming for Mount Lebanon, particularly for the uptown area. We do have some things that are sort of in planning, but nothing really to report yet. Our immediate goals are to continue to build the successful events we've had, including things like the Farmers Market and First Fridays, and a number of things that we contribute both time and a little bit of money to. Getting people on the street is good for Mount Lebanon. It engages folks of all ages, and it helps to build a sense of responsibility and a sense of camaraderie in our community.
This past year with MRTSA, we were very, very proud of the fact that we did a restructuring. It started at the beginning of the year. We noticed that we needed to be a little more fiscally responsible, looking at healthcare changes. And so through the given months up until the fall, we were working on a restructuring that has led us to where we're at today, which is a great organization. In the last, up until the fall, we were still working on the restructuring, and we are a very good organization, and we've become a better and stronger organization financially this year. 2014 is going to be a challenge, but we are more ready to accept that challenge. With healthcare changes and not being able to get the reimbursements that we used to, we need to work on that and make sure that we're ready for the coming year, and we will be. It's important in terms of the MRTSA board for public safety. It's another branch with our fire department and police department, and I've learned so much by participating with the full board on many projects, including prevention, as well as the intervention that they provide each day in not only our community, but several others in the area. So I think it's important as a commissioner to understand where emergency medicine is today and where it will be in the future.
Well, I think the greatest accomplishment of the Parks Advisory Board for 2013 has been that we've been able to make some improvements to some of the current parks, such as Highland Terrace, and also in previous years finishing up projects such as Williamsburg Park. So overall, we've been able to add some things and make improvements to our current park inventory. Well, I think the challenge for the Parks Advisory Board for 2014 will be like it's been for the past few years, being able to secure scarce municipal resources in order to fund capital improvements to the parks. That's been our greatest challenge the past few years, and probably maybe 3-4 years ago, there simply wasn't money available to improve the parks. So we've been able to catch up a little bit and maintain current improvements, but that's been the biggest challenge. By trade, I'm a municipal school solicitor, so I have an idea of how local governments work, and I'm able to use that ability to bring some of the ideas that our Parks Board has to the municipal council and municipal administration. But also what I gain from the board is that the feeling that I've been able to help the community in some way, particularly trying to maintain and improve a valued resource in our parks.
The most significant accomplishment that comes to mind that we've accomplished over the last year was achieving an ISO rating of a Class 1, which is the Insurance Services Organization's highest rating. What that means is that they analyzed our previous performance and our capabilities for what we're able to handle both emergency-wise and non-emergency, and awarded us the highest possible rating. And that's something that is very rare. There are less than 60 fire departments in the country that have an ISO rating of a 1. And what that means to the homeowners and taxpayers of Mount Lebanon is that the insurance companies feel that you are have a much lower risk of having a significant emergency. We consider ourselves one department. We're considered a combination department. The career officers, the guys who are paid to be there, are there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Those are our officers, and that's our chief. The volunteer operators and volunteer firefighters will participate as needed and also participate for community events and service organizations, public service, and really anything that needs to be done than regular firefighters can handle. We do a lot more than just run into burning buildings here. So it's a tremendously rewarding experience to help your neighbors. All of us are Mount Lebanon residents. So we're helping our family, we're helping our friends, and we're helping the people in our community.
Well, I think we've been very busy since our startup. We are the newest board. The fact that we are organized, we've got our mission, our vision underway. We've got a number of substantial projects in development right now. And we've also got a board that is really coalesced to get to a common ground and get to a common understanding of what we're trying to do, representing all sports, indoor, outdoor, K through 12, high school, adults. So it's very, very broad, very wide spectrum of participation throughout the community. The immediate goal for 214, in addition to organizing the board itself, is a capital project working with the commissioners and the community to improve the athletic fields on Cedar Boulevard, specifically Middle and Wildcat. The desired outcome there would be a partnership to introduce a synthetic material, a turf field, if you will, to increase the available field space and increase the ability for more student athletes to use the field for a longer period of time. So we see it as a huge undertaking, great spirit of cooperation with the commissioners and the community, and it'll be a good project when we're done. I've got perspective. I came in as the designate for lacrosse. However, all of my kids are through the program. So I've got I think a more global view. I can look at programs not with a perspective of my kids are playing this sport, therefore I've got to lobby to make sure they're secured. I think I've got a little more parity across all the lines, all the organizations, all the age groups. I think it's an important part of the culture of the community. We're very lucky here. We've got a great academic platform. We've got a great arts platform. We have a great athletic platform. But I also worry about, are we doing the right things to keep it that way and to maintain? Maybe look at it in the context of, if you're not growing, you're dying. So I worry about that. And I see the little things in the community done right make it a better place. You know, the events on Washington Road in the summer make it a great place. The art in the park makes it a great place. Continuing to push the athletic platforms forward will continue to make it a great place.
In 2013, I would say our biggest accomplishment has been instituting the Neighborhood Traffic Management Program. We received a fair number of traffic calming requests from our citizens, and we went through the procedure and was able to decide our most pressing need would happen to be New Bern Drive, the speed on New Bern Drive, and we were able to come up with a solution to the speed of installing 2 speed humps, and that was able to lower the speed on average 7 miles per hour and get it back significantly closer to the actual speed limit. And the residents were very happy that their street is now safer for them and their children. Most likely in this coming year, we will probably move on to the second biggest problem that our neighborhood traffic management program identified, and that is North Meadowcroft Avenue. There was, from the data that we were able to see so far, there is speeding on that road as well. We have not got to the solutions portion yet. That will be upcoming in the next few months, but that will probably be our biggest challenge in 2014. Whenever I joined the board, I was relatively new to the neighborhood, and I wanted to do something to A, feel more a part of the community, and B, meet some new people. I didn't know many people when I moved here, so I thought that joining one of the volunteer boards would be a good way to meet new people and to help out and feel more of a member of the community. And I achieved both of those. What do you do when you cross the street?
Look both ways.
And what else do you do? Which way do you look?
Left and right.
Right. Good job. Good job.
There's a lot of commitment involved in being a firefighter from Mount Lebanon, particularly when you're going through the training period over the first year. And that's something my family supported me tremendously during that time. And we do, the families, my son's happy to have a firefighter for a father, so is my daughter. My wife is happy that